meditate in the mornings and stuff before getting my day started.
Or like when I go to sleep, I just like now I can't sleep without like some type of sound.
I like the rain when I go to sleep. I put on the black screens on YouTube,
and it's like I'm good. Like I'm grateful. Like it was actually a girl I was dealing with. She showed me like all the different ways of like meditating and stuff, and like brought me to like how your spirit is and like chakras and all that stuff. But it was like before that, when she was saying like I'm glad y'all do have a safe space, it like made me think about the times where I didn't. And I used to have like the most like toxic ways of like releasing myself. Like I've always had like somewhat of a social media following, and instead of like going to therapy or talking to somebody about it, I'm just posting on Instagram exactly how I feel, and I'm just like typing up just all this crazy stuff and like not even like really thinking like it. And I had got so comfortable with doing that, I didn't realize like the other people I could possibly be hurting or making feel a type of way, because I'm not just saying this in the mirror. Like to me, I'm just saying this to a mirror in my mind. Like I'm just typing this on my phone. It's not gonna mean nothing. It's just Instagram. But I could be speaking on a situation that's dealing with someone a situation that's dealing with more than just me, and I don't know how they gonna take that, or how they gonna feel about me releasing this, or how they may see my following, like what my following may be to them, and like, bro, you done put this out here for thousands of people to see this, like, I'm not, or like, so in that, and I don't having that way of coping and like getting stuff off my chest. I've lost friends from it. I lost like potential soulmates, probably people I care about, and close relationships. So it's just like I'm glad that I was able to like put the phone down and really just like hold some stuff in, or just
figure it out.
Save it for the booth.
We're all a pot, and we can only take so much before it boils over. And whether you are involved in unique ways to release whatever it is, if you don't have that, you're gonna release in another way.
Some way, somehow.
So I'm glad that you're able to think about that, because those other ways that might be negative for you or for others, that can snowball into other things that might lead you to release again. And a lot of people cope in different ways, but people cope through violence, people cope through drugs, alcohol, sex, all of it, and it could end up in a real bad situation, that can only further push you down in a hole that you never wanted to be in the first place. Like, I remember I originally got introduced to meditation through my father, because my grandmother, she has this book that she put out called Power Learning that really focused on the athlete state of mind while they're in school. So she was big on trying to help people understand their thoughts and how they can process things and how they can work on their mental in order to be a successful student or a successful person in general. And starting back from high school, I am a busybody. Like, I like to be super busy all the time, super productive, have a whole list of things to do, and I'll always be really busy, right? To the point where I will break myself. Like, I will be so overwhelmed. My plate will be so full. I don't know what to do. And I literally will run until I black out. And my dad, he used to have to sit me down and download, back when we had MP3s. When he used to have, LimeWire.
Right a little bit, Joe.
Okay. Yeah, but back then he would download some of those meditative, audio clips and have me fall asleep to those things. And so those really got me a perspective to just slow down. So when I was like in a moment of panic, anxiety, and breakdown, like it told me how to breathe. And I even had a moment like that in college.
Yeah, that's cool.
It literally slowed me down to the point where, long story short, I blacked out on my shift at TJ Maxx. Jeez. And my roommate had to drive me back, and I was like on bed rest for like a week.
Jeez.
And so it's like, you don't understand how necessary it is. People think it's so small or like so like not important, right? But when you're so quick to like run and go so fast and hustle and grind every day, Like, your body is only going to take so much before it slows you down. So the fact that y'all are able to sit here and say that y'all have ways to center yourselves is so good. And I just want to reestablish or reiterate the importance of that. So kudos to y'all. And for anyone that's hearing this, y'all need y'all need some ways to, you know, release. Y'all need safe spaces.
And I gotta say this. I don't mean to cut you off, but until like I got like that real relationship and trust with like faith in God, I did not feel safe. Like everything, like all the way from like high school, I used to deal with sleep paralysis. To the point where like I had to sleep with like prayer beads and the Bible under my pillow every night just to like have the comfortability to go to sleep. Then once I graduated from high school and started like living the real world and 18, 19, like just stupid stuff. Now I'm sleeping with a gun under my pillow, and dude, as a reflection of like the lifestyle I was living at that time, of course, but it was like once I like started getting right with God and praying and like really putting like an arrogant faith into the Lord, it's like I didn't worry about like, oh, someone coming into the house trying to rob me or something like that, so I need to keep this under my pillow or even like keep a Bible under my pillow or anything like that. It's just like the pure faith that I had in God.
It gives you that peace.
It gives you like, I don't even like, once I pray, like I don't need a gun, I don't need nothing. I'm straight. I'm content with that. Like I'm content with knowing like God gonna protect me. He gonna keep me covered in the blood of Jesus and keep me like, he gonna get me home. He gonna get me wherever I need to go.
That's right.
I feel like he the real protector, and like if you can't feel safe with him, then you can't feel safe with nothing, nobody, or like anything for real.
So you gonna say something?
No, I said you said a key point during the video. You was like, people don't allow themselves to get to that safe place. So it's like I don't know about y'all, but like I know I self-sabotage myself. And like I'm like in the process right now. Like I really evaluate myself every day. It's like me fighting my old self, like my old, especially like old habits. It's just like, how can I not sabotage myself to be in a safe place, especially when you're like in your cycle, like in a bad cycle, like things may not be where you want to be, like career wise, with your business, like with your relationship, or even just personally. So it's just like when I get in those places in life, like why do I self-sabotage myself and revert back to my old ways instead of saying, okay, I got these safe places for me where I can be vulnerable, I can be myself, my true self, and actually help myself get up out this cycle instead of reverting back to things I used to do when I would be in this cycle where it's like smoking or drinking more, or not being as consistent with like prayer or meditating, or being consistent even with like business or like working out, or even being consistent in your relationship and drifting off, because everybody has been in a relationship. You know, when you're in like depression and stuff, you tend to distance yourself. So it's just like, how can I keep allowing myself to put myself in a safe space?
So. That's a good point.
I think you kind of said something though. You made a point because you already having those conversations with yourself.
Yeah.
I think we all deal with self-sabotage, and especially like, let's look at it like this. Typically in a black home, even like the words of affirmation won't be as positive. Like he said, he grew up around love, so that transferred to him being transparent, especially even about love. A lot of things we have to unlearn as we're figuring things out, but how much confidence you gonna really have if you've probably heard for a good portion of your life that you're not gonna be that dumb. That when you do make a mistake, you call dumb. You can't have emotions. So you're having emotions, like these things are happening to you, and you know it, but you got the old voice like, don't cry, don't go talk about this. You know how you're gonna be made to look. So it's even important to have those conversations with yourself. I think it's something we was talking about earlier, just even with our parents, how they do install certain things inside of you. And certain skills that we do develop from them is because of the fact, again, that we are black. It's extra survival.
Yeah.
Like it's their awareness for certain things is extra because they were in times when we didn't have internet to look up certain words to, oh, that's what you deal with.
Mm-hmm.
So they squibble was a little extra because it had to be. And so sometimes they project on us. And it's like, well, you know, people aren't getting sprayed with hoses no more, but your passion of your speech, that's what you seen.
Yeah.
And you develop that. You like, okay, I know I got to be on my P's and Q's as a black man, as a black woman, but what can I take from the new, take from the old, and, you know, merge that into, you know, who I want to be collectively. Because I think some stuff they don't tell us, you should take it with a grain of salt. Like, you know, they don't have the worst intentions sometimes to be the delivery.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can take a step back sometimes as we get older, you know, it went all the way wrong.
Right.
I can take that. And then some stuff as you allow yourself to develop your own feelings and stuff, to be like, that wasn't okay.
Yeah.
You know, and just keep having those conversations with yourself. I think it's important because nobody knows you like you know yourself. But even that alone, a huge starting point of talking to yourself. Because a lot of times what we like to do is compress things and, you know, and never talk about it. So it's a vital piece. And what you do with that information, once you collect it all in your own internal data, is how you get out of it, I think. Ain't easy. That's a lot easier said than done.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's a good start.
Yeah.
Sure.
Deprogramming and reprogramming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember my mama was getting on to me about we was just having a conversation, and I had asked her for her viewpoint on something. And when I started responding, she cut me off and was like, stop being so defensive. Like, stop being so quick to, like, defend criticism. Yeah, like, so it's like, that's one thing I took in from that conversation. Me and my mom, like, we could sit and have, like, we'll get lost in our conversations from time to time. We'll sit and have, like, a 4-hour conversation fresh off of work or something. It'll talk the whole evening away, but, like, having them conversations, like, really open, honest conversations with your parents or, like, elders or even, like, older siblings or just people that you look at, people that have age, that got some years on you that you got respect for, I would definitely say, like, have them open, honest conversations with them, and don't be so quick to, like, get defensive when you are in a place where you can be critiqued or, like, receive constructive criticism, because a lot of times, like, we are in this, you know, we get into this mode of, like, you know, we're just these perfect people where we all got stuff we can work on.
And it goes both ways, too, giving your parents grace as well, because their mentality was different than ours.
Definitely.
You know?
Like he was saying, like, people not being sprays with, like, literal hoses, but it's still, like, metaphorical hoses that we can still somewhat be looked for. Like, and that goes into, like, me, I know, like, and it may be my youth talking, but, like, I keep my dreads purposely. I keep tattoos purposely. Like, I don't change my appearance. I know how to code switch. Like, I know, like, when I'm at a place, like, if I'm at the spot with the bros, we can talk how we talk. But when I get into, like, corporate, a corporate or a business place or a business sense, then I know, like, to articulate my words differently, stand differently. But I'm not gonna let what you see depict, like, how you know, perceive me.
What was that movie? I'm Sorry to Bother You. Y'all saw that? What's his name?
With the white boy?
No, the black dude from Get Out.
Yeah. What's his name?
I know you're talking about.
Like Daniel.
Ooh,
With the other guy. He's in Atlanta.
Oh,
Lakeith Stanfield.
Yes.
Yeah.
That movie, first of all, that
Was
movie,
weird.
that was weird towards the end. You
Yeah,
can't watch
I don't know what
it.
happened.
But I think
always
the
knew it was
biggest
a
part
weird
of that
movie,
movie
though.
was about, like, the whole code switching that we're experienced with. Like, we could be all comfortable talking however we talk from wherever we from with each other, but the minute you walk into a corporate office, hello, how can I help you? Like,
Yeah.
it's just automatic. Like,
do
we
not
were
like
trained
that.
on
I
that.
do
Like,
not like
Like
that.
our race don't make us, but we also have to know, like, it's a certain way of things that we gotta go. It's a certain way we gotta go about things living in America, because it's just like it was already, like, you know, it's already set out.
Some days I be like,
it's a
do
lot of
we?
stuff you just know on the wrist. Go ahead.
You know, you good, bro.
I'm saying it's a lot of stuff you just knowing again, taking a step back and being real with yourself and understanding like the magnitude of what you're trying to accomplish.
Right.
It's nothing better than like, because even if somebody was like, all right, I'm gonna go in and because I said the same thing in the first episode when I was working in corporate America. I was very intentional to show people like, yeah, I got tax and I'm a regular dude. As long as you understand what comes with that.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
always like a higher being, a higher power, even for us humans, because certain people put themselves in certain positions where we behind the 8 ball. And if we able to accept, I guess you can call it consequences. I don't got the other word for it right now, but like this is the possibility because I'm taking these chances. Once you cool with that, you can kind of have clarity and peace along your journey too, because it helps along any other thing that you're doing. Like if I know I can die behind this, if you comfortable and content with that above anything else don't matter.
I think we all know this because I feel like I'm in a room full of intelligent people. It's not always gonna be your enemy. Not always the person that look the opposite of you. It could be that person that look just like you, but they don't like how you carrying yourself as who you are. So they might be the person that is going against you. So I would say like as black men, we gotta be open to like trying to build relationships with the outside races, because just because they didn't want to take the initiative and like break that barrier don't mean we can't take the initiative and like be friendly to white people, or sit down and have that conversation with a white person, or like try to understand like what their mindset is, because then you'll be able to like go into the rooms that they may be able to walk in dressed anyway, hair looking anyway, and still get that position, and where we would have to suit, tie, fresh cut, look to the T, but still and have to work double time to try to get that same position. Because at the end of the day, it's like we were saying earlier, we all humans, like at the end of the day. So our color is just this barrier that people years and years and years ago created, that kind of just separated us and make us feel like we just belong in certain classes, when really we're capable of doing whatever we want to do, whatever we put our minds to.
True.
Y'all ready for the last question?
Yes.
I see we're over time a little bit, so we will do this last question, get the videos and the pictures, and then I'll let y'all go.